Hi there, welcome to Bright Hope Take 5. This week's message is called Welcome to the Gun Show. And usually that is said by some beefcake that wants to show off his muscles, which are also known as guns, generally to the annoyance of everybody around him. And it's a show of strength. We like to show off our strongest points. We don't like showing off our weaknesses. And the Bible is great in the fact that all of its heroes, the Bible talks about their strengths and their weaknesses. And we as people, we have strengths and weaknesses. And so we can identify with a lot of these people with their good points and with their bad points. Now, one guy who the Bible talks about showing his strength is a guy of the name of Jehoiada. And he's set in this time in history in the nation of Judah where they're going through a really tough time. Basically, the king has just been killed. And instead of one of his sons taking the throne, the king's mother, she decides that she wants to take the throne. So she starts massacring everybody of her own family. She starts killing all her grandchildren. She starts killing everybody related. And she's just got this goal that she's going to be the queen and in charge of everybody. Now, during this time, the king, who's just died, his sister takes one of the king's sons, a baby, and protects the baby. And they keep that baby hidden in the Lord's temple for 6 years. That is a very long time while that child is growing up and the queen is reigning and chaos is in control. So Chronicles, 2 Chronicles 23 begins like this. In the 7th year, Jehoiada showed his strength. He made a covenant with the commanders of units of 100. They went throughout Judah and gathered the Levites and the heads of Israelite families from all the towns. When they came to Jerusalem, the whole assembly made a covenant with the king at the temple of God. And I love it where it says Jehoiada showed his strength. That was his gun show. And different versions of the Bible, they talk about Jehoiada found some courage, decided to act, made a bold move. It was a very scary time where there was a lot of danger for him and everybody who was related to him, anybody who had wanted to do anything with him, anyone was part of this treasonous plot to get the real king back on the throne. They were facing a death sentence. And so Jehoiada, he gathers people around him. Remember, the baby's been hidden for 6 years, so that's quite difficult to do. And it needs several people to be involved, but they must be people of great trust. Now, where was the strength that Jehoiada found for that? When it says that he showed his strength. Well, I would say first off, one of the first things was the family that was around him. He went to the Levites. He was a priest. He was a Levite. And the Levites and the heads of the families, they came to him. They were the people that he could trust. So they were the ones that went to him and his immediate family. We've already seen that his wife, she was the one that actually started all this. Perhaps she said to her husband, we need to protect my nephew. Everybody else is being killed and he is the legitimate king. So the family were there, and I would say that our family is our first church. Our family is the first people we want to be growing in God together. We want to be sharing God with, because they're I guess for me, the most important thing is that my family will be with me right now, serving God, but also in heaven. I want my family to be with me. So I love the way that this family is working together. The second area that he was strong is that he was strong in godly character. He needed integrity, he needed patience, he needed courage, he needed peace. When chaos was reigning, he needed to know that there's greater stuff inside me than the pressure that's coming from without. Otherwise, we end up with a case like Samson that had all this strength but had zero character. We need to find integrity in God. And the third area is that he must have found his strength from God himself. I love how David, when he was going through a real tough time and his own men were even turning on him, it says that, and he strengthened himself in the Lord. I love it where Paul says, in my weakness, that is when I am strong. Your grace is sufficient for me. Whose grace is he talking about? He's talking about Jesus' grace, because Jesus is our maximum example of a strong man, of showing real strength. And his greatest strength, was shown actually on the cross, which many people would say that was his weakest point, but that was actually the place where death and sin were overcome, were conquered, and it meant life for all of us that decide, Jesus, I want you in my life, I want you in my heart, you are my God, you are my King. Find your strength in Jesus. There is no other place that can give us everything we need. There's no other name in which we can be saved, and Jesus is the answer. Thank you for listening. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.